Okay, so in the last video, we talked about the box model, and in the next step in this module, we actually talk about navigation. And there are two types of navigation that you should be paying attention to, and that is absolute and relative. So a relative link is anything that's linking into your own site, into your own folder, and then an absolute link or absolute or external link would be to an outside site. So let's talk about a couple of those. First, let me open my basic structure HTML. I didn't want to do that. File, open, and I have in my web design folder this basic structure.html, and then I'm going to open that up. Now do file, save as, and in the module 3 practice folder, I'm going to call this links.html. Okay, so we have this new page called links.html, and we can mess with the heading, and we're going to mess with the links. So we're going to say relative links are to links to pages within your own site. And then I'll go ahead and copy this text and say external links are to links to pages outside of your site. All right, so in this one, I think I've shown you before Google. We'll just do it again. For instance, visiting google.com. Okay, so we're going to start with this one because this one's the easiest. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap an A tag around this because the A tag is what we make links with. And we're going to make sure that it is only on the word or 2 or 3 words that you want to be clickable. So we don't need to make this whole paragraph clickable, just the words. And then we need to add an attribute called href equals quote quote, and then we need to put the URL in there. So we always actually go to the website and we copy and paste the URL, because you can't just type google.com even though that's what it shows right here. You have to paste in the actual URL, which is https://www.google.com/. So that's why you should always copy and paste your URLs to make sure it's really going to work. So this is how we create an external link. If we save this and then do a live preview, oh, we're in a live preview. So now we have that google.com link. We can also add the target equals _blank, and that will open up in a blank window. So if we hit that, we hit Google, and it's going to open that up in a blank tab. So that's good. All right, so in a previous tutorial video, we talked about pseudo class selectors so that you can style them so that when you hover over the link, it does something cool. So make sure you watch that video if you didn't watch it. Now, relative links are weird, okay? So relative links mean that they are links to pages in your own site. So let me explain what I mean by that. So this is the folder that these two files, the boxmodeldemo.html, the boxmodel.css, and this links.html page are in. So if I wanted to link from this page, the links.html, to the boxmodeldemo.html, what I would have to do is say, okay, relative links are to links to pages within your own site. For example, the box model demo page. So this is what I want them to click, and when they click it, it's going to open up this boxmodeldemo.html. So we're still going to put the A tag around it, and we're going to make sure it's, again, only surrounding the words that you want to have clicked. And now we still need to put href equals, but this time you'll see this little thing pops up. It's finding the files that are within your folder for your site. So all we have to do is pick the HTML page that we want it to open. We can just type that in too. It's important though that you make sure that you spell it correctly, you punctuate it correctly. If it's HTML and not HTML, then this is going to not work. So it needs to be exactly the way it is. So now if I do file save, it says relative blah, blah, blah. So if I click on this, it's going to go to the box model. We can do the same thing on the box model page. We can say visit our links page to learn how to create a link. Okay, so again, we're going to put the A tag around the word that makes the most sense for this link. And you can either put it around links or links page. I'll just go ahead and put it around links page. And we do href equals, equals. And again, we can pick which page we want it to go to, and that's links.html. So if we do file save for that, visit our links page. So now I can go back to links, and from links I can go to box model, and I can go back and forth. Okay, so now here's where it doesn't work. Okay, so let's say I'm on my links page and I come over here and I realize I don't want to call this box model demo. I want to call it box model.html, and so I change it. That's fine. But if I come over here and I click box model, see how it gives a file not found error? And that's because you changed the name of it. So now it was linking to box model demo.html, and there's no longer that page in this folder. So to fix that, I have to come in here and make sure that the name is correct, and file save, and we'll live preview this. There we go. So now when I click on this, it goes to the box model and we're good to go. Now, if we just stop there, that's fine, because if you're building a small, simple website for this class, which you should be, because this is like the very first step in web design, you're usually going to keep all of your files in this top level folder. But sometimes you start to need more structure, like you need a new folder for, let's say, all of the products pages, or a folder for all the about us pages. And if that happens, then we also have to add a little bit more, because we have to show that file structure. So if you want to pause right here, because maybe this is going to be a little bit too much, because this is probably the one thing that stresses my in-person students out, is they don't understand this. So hopefully this demo explains it to you. But just know that if you want to keep it simple, you can just keep all your files in the top level. Okay, so let's pretend that I had a new folder called products, and I'm going to have several different product pages in there. And I want to link from the links page to the products page. So let's go ahead and create a products page. File, new, or no, we're going to open that structure, basic structure. And I'm going to save that as product 1. Just keep it generic, product1.html. And it's in the same folder with all of these, but I'm going to put it into products.html. So I'm going to put product1.html in the products folder. So I'm going to call this product1, add product info. Okay. So I'll go ahead and save this. And if I want to go to that products page, I'm going to say visit our product 1 page. Okay. So you think you're going to do okay. And put it around the text, which is absolutely correct. But where you're probably going to get confused is you're going to put href, and you're going to try to go to your product1.html, but notice it's not in this list. And the reason why is because if I'm here on links page.html and I need to get to the products page, first step is I have to get into the products folder. Then I have to click the product1.html. So that's why it's saying, okay, go into the products folder. This little / means folder. Fancy name for that is called directory in web design, but anytime people say directory, they mean folder. Okay, so I'm going to click this products, and then it's going to say, okay, in that products folder, I want to link to product1.html. So that's in fact what I want to do. So now you can see that it's going into the products folder and linking to product1.html. So that is correct. So if I do file save, click product1, and it goes back to product1. If I had just done product1.html and saved it and clicked on this, it's going to give me a 404 error page, or it can't find the file page. So you really need to have that folder first. Okay. So if we had multiple folders, like a products page, and then inside of the products folder, there was 10 tech products, there was home products, then you would need to go into those folders before you actually got to the product that you were looking for. Okay. So it's important that we show that file structure. And I always think of it as like, if I'm trying to get to here, what is the next step to find the next page? Well, I have to get into the products folder and then get that product.html. So the other thing to think about is what happens if you want to go from product 1 back to the links page. Well, here's how that works. Okay. So I'm going to say go back to the links page. Okay, so I'm going to put an A tag around that, move the end tag to the end of the text, and now I'm going to do href equals. Now see how it's only trying to pick product 1 because that's all there is available in the same folder that this file name is in. So that is a problem. We want it to go back up to the links page. So how do we do that? Well, again, I start from wherever I am in the folder structure. So right now I know I am in product1.html, and maybe it's easier if I show you with this column thing. So I am at this product1.html, and we can't go into a folder because actually what we need to do is get out of this folder and get in and get the links.html. So in web design, when you want to get out of a folder, you have to put .. So it doesn't need to it doesn't need to know the name of the folder you're trying to get out of, because it's assuming you want to get out of whatever folder you're already in. And since we're on the product1.html page, we are in the products folder. So we're going to get out of that folder, and then now it's going to give us the option to link to links.html. So it's kind of really weird. So just remember, if you want to get into a folder, you have to name that folder, put the / and then the HTML page. If you want to get out of a folder, you need to put 2 dots, / and then the HTML page. Okay. So even harder, I don't want to make this harder for you guys, but I just need to know that you guys, that I've tried to cover this base with you guys, is what happens if we do a folder called services. Services. And we want to create a file in here. I'm just going to resave this file as something else. So I'm going to save as service1. So I'm going to go into services, and instead of product1, this is service1. Okay. So this one should be service1. Add service info. And go to the, not back, let's go to the products page, or the product 1 page. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. All right, I think we've got this page where we need it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put file, save. So we need this to go to the product 1 page, but how do we get there? Because we first start with whatever page we're on, which is service 1. And what are our steps? Well, we need to go back out of the services folder. So in order to do that, we need to do .. And then we need to get into the products folder. So we're going to do products / And then what we need to connect to whatever HTML page. So since we're looking for product 1, we'll choose product 1. Okay. So that's how to create that link. And if you get it wrong, save it, click here, see if that works. And if it doesn't work, keep trying, and really start from the page you're on. I'm on the, where am I? I am on the services 1 page. So logically think that out and say, okay, in order to get to the products page, my first step is to get out of the services folder. So we know anytime we're going out of, we have to do .. We need to get into products folder. So if we need to get into a folder, we have to name the folder / So that's what you see here. And then we access whatever file this is. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know, but that's how you create basic links. Eventually, we're also going to start talking about how to create a navigation bar for your website.